angels, welcome back to my channel. It is Nathali Kabongo, and today I have another scary story. And this story is for everyone out there who are married, and it is a tale to make boyfriend and girlfriends or even single people out there to understand that it's not every family that you should step your foot in, because you have to understand, you marry your spouse, you marry the entire family as well. You marry their story, you marry their bloodline. So this story will make you understand the importance of it all and how you need to be aware of the people around you as well. The location of the story is not known, but this is a story of Tracy and Mike. Both of them are African, and so we can assume that the story is happening again in Africa. Tracy and Mike, they were high school lovers, and they met together, and they were always known as high school sweethearts. Everyone envied or loved their relationship. They were the goals in their high school. And after college, after university, they got married and they were living a really good life. The family was happy of their union, except her mother-in-law. Tracy's mother-in-law was not really happy that Mike, her son, got married to Tracy. The mother-in-law always had a problem with Tracy, and Tracy never understood why. Tracy always wanted to connect with her mother-in-law because of course her mother-in-law is like her second mother. Of course, she will want to have that connection. But unfortunately, the mother-in-law, aka Mike's mother, never liked Tracy for some reason. Tracy and Mike had good, stable jobs. They were getting money, and they were living in a really amazing apartment. And of course, majority of the couples that are in marriage, what is it that they're waiting for? Children. They want to have a family. That is basically a great expectation when it comes to marriage, to have children and to raise a family together. After a year of them getting married, a great news emerges in the couple. Tracy is pregnant. It is a blessing. Everyone is excited. Everyone is so happy that Tracy is finally pregnant. They do a great baby shower and everyone was happy, but of course, except Mike's mother, aka the mother-in-law, Tracy's mother-in-law. Tracy didn't want to pay attention to her mother-in-law. She only paid attention with her family and everyone in Mike's family that was happy that she was pregnant. She had a nice pregnancy and everything was okay. One night, Tracy wakes up and she feels as if her bottom is burning. She notices weird watery liquid and she realizes her water broke. She is panicking. She wakes Mike, wake up! My water broke. We have to go to the hospital. Mike was so happy. He's like, okay, relax. I'll get the bag and we will go. So they got everything ready. They got the baby bag ready, and they jumped in the car and drove straight to the hospital. Upon arriving to the hospital, Tracy called her mother, and Mike called his mother as well. So Tracy's mother-in-law that doesn't like her. Both of the mothers arrived, and Tracy only wanted her mother in the living room. She didn't feel comfortable that the mother-in-law was also in the living room, so she told Mike, listen, I love your family, but I feel like this moment should only be you, me, and my mom. I need my mother more than ever, and you, but your mother-in-law is standing in the corner making me feel uncomfortable, so I would really love for her to leave. So Mike didn't want Tracy to be under stress because she was about to give birth to the first child. So of course, Mike obeyed and listened to Tracy, and he created a really weird excuse to push the mother out, and the mother-in-law was like, okay, I will go out. The mother-in-law left, and Tracy gave birth to a beautiful baby boy. The baby boy was a chunky, chubby little thing, and he was amazing to see. And Tracy and Mike were really happy that they received a bundle of joy. Tracy's mother was also happy because her daughter finally made her a grandma, and she was so happy about this. This entire moment was just a blessing and full of joy to them. This is where the story turns really dark and sour. After Tracy gave birth, she allowed every single person in her presence to carry the baby for 2 minutes, and they passed around the baby. When the baby was in the mother-in-law's hand, the baby started screaming very loudly. It's as if the baby was getting stabbed or was in horrible pain. The doctor were really scared, so they took the baby and went to do a little checkup. But as soon as they picked up the baby to do the checkup, the baby stopped crying. That was weird. Tracy then started to have a mother instinct that was telling her mother-in-law is not a good person for her child. Her mother-in-law is not to be trusted. And of course, Tracy decided to follow her heart and what her mother instinct was telling her about her mother-in-law. She told what she felt to her mom, and her mom said, okay, just be careful. I'll go back home, but be careful to speak to Mike about this and make sure you'll be fine. So of course, Tracy spoke to her husband and said, Mike, listen, this is how I feel. And Mike was like, oh, you're hilarious. Leave my mother alone. She did nothing to you. She's here to welcome her grandson. Just let her be. Unfortunately, Tracy was devastated about what Mike said, but she said, okay, now that's not a problem. I will let her be. So later on that day, it was finally nighttime, and Maria was sleeping. And when she woke up in the middle of the night, she had to go use the washroom. And when she got up, it was really painful for her to really stand up. So she was looking around to see if there was anyone in the room that could help her to go to the bathroom. So she got up on her bed and put her feet to the side to see, and she was glancing around to see if there's anyone. She stopped and she looked at her baby's bed. When she stared at her baby's bed, she saw a shadow of a person looking down and bending down towards her kid. She was nervous. She was scared. She rubbed her eyes and she looked again, and she saw that the shadow was still there. She couldn't believe what she saw, and she said, hey, who is that? The shadow, as if this person heard her, slowly got up and glided away out of the room. She turned on her lamp and was looking around, and she saw that no one was there. And she went back to bed because she was scared of what she saw. The next day, Tracy woke up and she was still startled by the thing that she saw last night. She decided to pay no mind, but her mother instinct was still ringing loudly. As the day went by, it was okay. Then the evening came by again. She was still at the hospital with her baby, and she had a nightmare. In this dream, she saw that she was in her bed and it was nighttime, but the moon was shining brightly at her baby's bed. And so she decided to look at her baby's bed where it was, and she saw a scene that traumatized her. She saw that her baby was sleeping peacefully, but she saw that her mother-in-law, so Mike's mother, her mother-in-law was bending over the bed and looking down at the baby, but in a really angry way. And she had no power to do anything. She was paralyzed and she couldn't move. And she was scared because she really wanted to capture and get her baby, but she couldn't. When she woke up, she was now officially convinced that her mother-in-law is doing something to her baby boy. After a couple days, she was finally ready to go back to her home. Mike prepared her so they can go back to her house. And I forgot to tell you guys this, that Mike's mother, aka Tracy's mother-in-law, actually is staying with them in the house. So that was another issue for Tracy. So as they were in the car, before Mike even started the car, Tracy stopped him and said, "Listen, I feel like I'll be more comfortable staying at my mother's home, just for the time being, because I feel like staying at my mother's home will kind of make me feel better, and I have my sisters there to take care of me, and I feel like you can always come to see the baby, and I feel like when the baby is like 2 months old, then I will come by with the baby." So Mike understood her. He wanted her to be okay and comfortable, so he said, "Okay, no problem, I'll drop you off at your mother's home." Once Mike dropped Tracy at her mother's home, Tracy went to her bedroom and settled down with her baby, and she then decided to speak to her mother about what is happening. She said, "Hey mom, this is happening to me and my baby. I'm having really bad feelings towards my mother-in-law. This is the dreams I've been having, and this is what I've been feeling." So Tracy's mother said, "Okay, I understand, and I know what you're talking about. Your motherly instinct is kicking in. I get it. And so I want us to go deep in prayer." So every night before going to bed, and every morning, and every afternoon, when they were able to, they will pray so strongly against any evil power or any evil witchcraft or any evil energy that would try to kill and destroy Tracy's life and her baby boy's life. And they will read the Bible over the baby boy. They were praying so much that when Tracy will go to bed, when she'll have the same dream of her mother-in-law staring down at her baby boy in his bed in anger, in the dream she would have a crazy power, and she would pray so much that the grandma would get scared. She would get up and shuffle away, just like the shadow she saw the first night shuffling away. Every single time that Tracy would pray again and again, she started to realize in her dream that her mother-in-law was backing away in every dream, and it's as if she was getting burnt and she was in pain and she couldn't touch the baby anymore. She saw a ring of light surrounding her baby, and she was so happy that she got this revelation. She believed that, yes, God listened to my prayer. As Tracy believed that the situation settled down, as promised, 2 months later, she got her baby and she decided to go back to her home, where she shared with Mike, his mother, and her. So as time went by, the mother-in-law wouldn't really address Tracy. She would stay away from Tracy as much as possible, and this would really bother Tracy. But she started to feel like every single night someone would stare at her, and she would start to hear the baby cry every night. It was becoming so much that she said, "You know what? I'm so sorry, but I can't stay in this marriage." Tracy decided to end this marriage, and she left the home for good. She's raising the baby and co-parenting with Mike, and it's okay now. Things are really much well. She doesn't receive any attacks, but this incident really spooked her and made her realize it's not in every family that you step your foot in. It's not in every marriage that you should feel like it would work. And that was the lesson, my angels. I hope you guys really enjoyed this story. Please let me know in the comments, my angels, what you guys think about the story. I'll be so happy to read your comments and to reply to them if I can. And please like my video, click the notification bell, and share my video if you find this video really interesting. Thank you, my angels, and have a great day or evening or night. Bye-bye.